Great to be here at this amazing Entrepreneurship Avenue. We will have an incredible day. The lineup is fantastic, the day is fantastic, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Before I start rambling, I just want to do a bit of market research. I always like doing that. I'm just curious, who of you already is in a startup? Raise your hand now. Okay, fair enough. Who of you wants to be in a startup one day? Raise your hand. Awesome. Well, I'm not worried if I see that, so that's pretty good. Long story short, amazing to be here, amazing to find out what you'll all come up with. Amazing speakers, amazing people who are going to say the welcoming words, and of course we'll have the time to feed the sharks later on with some business angels who are going to roast a couple people. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking now. I'd like to get the three people behind this on stage to say a couple of words. By the way, just to kind of get the rules straight out, whenever someone comes on stage, I want you to applaud as loud as you can. I will check your hands. If your hands are nice and red, you're doing it right. If they're not, I'll complain. Okay? Does it make sense? That's the part where you nod. Can you nod? All of you? Like, yes. You're not that compliant, yes, but we work on it. Okay? Yes. That's a lot better. In that sense, please, boys and girls, make some noise for Rudolf, Chiara, and Simon, the brains behind it. Make some noise for them. Come on, then.
Hello. Hello. This one's working? Okay, perfect. Thanks. Good morning, entrepreneurs. How are you today? Good? Good. Good to see you and to see some familiar faces again from the lab series. Mrs. Ambassador, Mr. State Secretary, Magnificenz. I'm happy to have you here with us today, because today marks the highlight of the second Entrepreneurship Avenue. It's the highlight of a journey we started roughly 2 months ago. A journey involving a lot of new inputs, information, new knowledge, new connections built by people from different backgrounds, universities, connections to the startup scene, and particularly a journey involving a lot of entrepreneurial spirit. We were thrilled to see that there were more than 700 participants in the 4 lab sessions, meaning there were hundreds of people coming together, working on innovative business ideas and getting a low-level entry towards the field of entrepreneurship. We are really thrilled that we had participants from more than 10 different universities, and on their way, these participants got feedback and support from more than 30 speakers, workshop leaders, and experienced mentors, being founders, investors, all the bright minds of the Austrian startup ecosystem. And well, today again I'd like to say thank you for all who made this happen. In a nutshell, the whole Entrepreneurship Avenue event series is designed as a platform of opportunities for students. It's a platform to experience entrepreneurship hands-on, to get a lot of inspiration, and it's our aim with the ECN and with the Entrepreneurship Avenue to provide a platform supporting student entrepreneurship. And there is one very particular example of successful student entrepreneurship, and these are these guys here, because there's a couple of students, of highly enthusiastic and motivated students, putting 24/7 work into making today's conference happen. So please give a big hand to Chiara and Simon from our proud partners, SIMConnect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rudolf. So yes, it's exactly true what you said. Our master program is the Master in Strategy, Innovation and Management Control, and it's quite new. It's only 5 years old, and this is why we thought that a conference like this one might be the perfect opportunity to show our entrepreneurial spirit. In a nutshell, while we believe that we are the study program for entrepreneurial minds, we, with this conference, we want to show that the startup spirit, which is in all of you, can actually lead to the accomplishment of projects like this one. So everybody can do it. And in order to show you this and to encourage you to start your own business, we founded within our student association the SIMConnect startup department, which is led by Simon. And I'm going to hand over to him so he can tell you more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So for the last 9 months, I think I had the best task in the world, which was to lead the organizing team of the Entrepreneurship Avenue Conference 2015. When you hear about someone working on something for 9 months, I always start thinking about babies. And actually, I think that comparison is pretty accurate, because I think until 2 days ago, when the first truck stopped in front of this building and unloaded more than 1,000 bottles, I think this is the first time this conference ever became really tangible for me. And now with you guys being here and the speakers there, we couldn't be more excited. So we are in the startup department for the conference organization, a team of 11 people, and they are really some of the most incredible people I've ever got to work with, and really spend a lot of their time making sure you guys have an amazing day here. So let me say one thing, we are students, we're not professional conference organizers, so today we're not optimizing towards perfection here, but we're optimizing towards fun. So please measure yourselves according to that. So when you registered for the conference, you probably realized that the ticket was not only pretty cheap, but more precisely actually completely free. And that's not because the conference doesn't cost anything, but it's because we have amazing sponsors that believe not only the Entrepreneurship Avenue, but you guys are worth investing in. So our special thanks goes to our general partners, BDO and AWS, to our platinum partners, WKO and the Wirtschaftsagentur, to our gold partners, TechNet Equity and FFG, and obviously to all the event partners and network partners that are making today possible. So we thank you very much. We're super excited for today. Let's make this an awesome conference, make it the best entrepreneurship conference for students that took ever place in Austria. Let's give our sponsors a round of applause, and yeah, let's have a fun day together. Thank you so much.
Wow. Nothing much to add to that. By the way, just saying, I do attend a conference or two once in a while, and I have to say, saying they're not professional, they are absolutely outright awesome. It's my opinion. Just working with you guys, seldomly I ever work with people that are so well prepared, know exactly what they're doing, and they're students, so I have no idea what they'll be doing in 5 years' time or 10 years' time. That's going to be mega. So, wow. Thank you so much for having me. By the way, if you want to share the word, we've come up with something very modern. It's called a hashtag. You may have heard. Hashtag. Actually, that thing. So if you feel like sharing, talking, doing whatever, you may want to use Facebook or Instagram, because apparently continental Europeans do not know what Twitter is. So Google Twitter or Yahoo it or whatever you want to do. Anyhow, spread the word, enjoy yourself, have an amazing day. And yeah, and I want to welcome someone on stage. Well, probably you all know who he is. You may have seen his signature once in a while. It's great to have him here. Again, please make a lot of noise for the Rector of the WU Wien, Professor Dr. Christoph Badelt. Make some noise for him. Welcome on stage.
Good morning, everyone. You obviously came here to listen to a boring introductory statement of the rector of this university, and this is what I'm supposed to do. No, I'm not going to do this. I came here in order to experience the spirit of this room. And today, there's another spirit in the room than it is here quite often, when very traditional, very conventional, very, in some sense, old happenings take place in this room. This is not the case here, and I'm very happy that that you're here. I'm very happy that you found your way to WU, the Vienna University of Economics and Business, which is not only the largest business university in Europe, it is also a very well-reputed university. It's the only Austrian university which is internationally accredited. It's the only Austrian university which is listed in the Financial Times ranking, and so on and so forth. But it is more than that. I understand, and this is why I took these sheets of paper with me, that this is the event for entrepreneurial minds. And I think an event for entrepreneurial minds fits exactly into this university, because this is a university for entrepreneurial minds. And this is why you should feel welcome here, whether you come from WU or whether you come from other universities in this town. I think it is good that the public learns that Vienna is a city with much entrepreneurial spirit, and that this entrepreneurial spirit also is organized and is supported at the universities, not only at this university, but particularly at WU as well. About 20 years ago, there was some empirical evidence on the ambitions WU graduates have when they leave WU. I think it's even 25 years. And the survey said that a significant portion of WU graduates want to become civil servants. And I can just tell you, this is not true anymore. Apart from the fact that few people can become civil servants at the moment, but the spirit has changed completely. It has changed completely, and it's the spirit of the university, and it's the spirit of the young graduates who come out of this university, who graduate and then say, let's do something. Let's become entrepreneurs. And I'm very happy that this is the case, that this spirit is gone. It is not only gone at WU, it's also gone in Vienna. And I'm very happy that you come here to exchange ideas, that you come here to exchange experience. And I would not like to prevent you from entering into this sphere, and this is why I stop here giving my boring presentation. Good morning.
Well, from my vantage point, it was everything but boring. So thank you very much. That was great. And you also mentioned it, entrepreneurial spirit, and it's true. There's been something happening. Something's been growing in the last few years. It's kind of emerging. I joined the whole thing end of 2010 when I said it was in a startup. People were going, "What's that?" You go, "Well, I founded a company." You go like, "Oh, that's bad." So like, poor you. That's changed. That's amazing. That's you changing it. And there's somebody else behind it who's really been encouraging this, who's really trying to make a difference. Some have nicknamed him Mr. Startup. I think that's quite fitting. In that sense, make a lot of noise. It's a long title. I'll just say, I'll read it out and then I'll get you on stage. Make some noise and switch off the phones. That's not the phone. Okay, sorry. I thought it was a phone. I'm still talking. Don't worry. That's nice of you. Thank you. Good. The Secretary of State in the Ministry of Science, Research and Economy, Dr. Harald Mahrer. In other words, welcome on stage, Harald. Come along. Hello.
Mr. Rector, Mrs. Ambassador, David, all of my friends here of the Austrian and not Austrian startup community, the already startups and the wannabe startups, I want to thank the team for inviting me to talk a little bit. I will do the same as the Mr. Rector. I won't give any, any boring speech, but to remind you why I'm doing this in government and why I'm all the day, 24 hours a day, not really 24, but 20, sometimes 18, trying to make Austria startup hub #1 in Europe. Because I think you all together, can make the difference. Rector pointed out about 20 years ago, a lot of Austrian students, when they graduated, wanted to leave into public services. I graduated in 1997 from this very university. In 1995, I did my master thesis writing about the freedom of speech in the internet. 1995, so quite some time ago. I already did some coding on Unix workstations. Yeah, some of you, I think, can't even imagine that. What we did 20 years back ago, and the world has changed a lot. And if you turn on TV or log into the papers, you all the time see a lot of depressing news, a lot of problems we were facing. Ecological problems, economic problems, you see refugees, you see war, you see terror. But that's, you know, all the dark story. Or in Star Wars, they would say, it's about the dark side of the Force, it's about anger, fear, yeah. But there's the other side of the medal as well. There are new technologies, and there's entrepreneurial spirit. And that's why I try to combine two things for all of you in our framework: money and meaning. Making good money by being successful entrepreneurs, and by doing a meaningful job trying to change the world with your ideas. So you can really make a difference to make the world a better place. And that's also a very important aspect of being a successful entrepreneur. So therefore, I wish you an amazing conference today. All the best, and I hope that a lot of you will start your own startup. Thank you very much.
So if you don't want to start a startup after today, you're doing it wrong. No pressure, but you heard the man. No pressure. Yes, a lot of pressure. Go out and change the world, because always someone who says someone should do something. You are someone. Don't ever forget that. You are that someone. Because if it's not you, who else? I was talking about making the difference, and it's quite interesting for, I don't know when it started, but there's someone who's been doing a lot for entrepreneurs in the background, a lot in front, always being there, open ears, open support, an incredible person. If you read the CV, you know why. I'm happy to have her here. I'm always happy when she's there. It's great. And I have to also say, I think you were at Pioneers Festival 2012. You were there. You made the difference for us to be on stage. That was fantastic. Boys and girls, make a lot of noise for the US Ambassador to Austria, Alexa Wesner. Welcome on stage. Please.
So, good morning, everybody. So, State Secretary Mahrer, the Rector, they saved you from speeches. I will not. I have 6 pages. You will enjoy every page. But before we get started, we're going to have 15 seconds or 30 of some of that music, and we're all going to get up, and we're going to show our best dance moves. Get the blood flowing before the 6 pages. Let's get 15 seconds, 20 seconds, yeah? Got some music? Let's bring it. Everyone get up. Okay. Good. Get the blood flowing. Great. Okay. Great. We pumped up. Good. So, thank you, Rudolf, for inviting me to this event. What an amazing event. I was reading about this in the last few weeks, and I hope you're incredibly proud. It is amazing what's going on here. I hope that it continues. Congratulations. So, thank you also for having me, I think, the final day, yeah? Okay, so, ready? It has become cliché to harp on the just get started mantra, as if it were easy to start a successful business. Getting started is hard. Developing an idea, building a diverse team, creating the first prototype, all take knowledge, patience, and dedication. This is why events like Entrepreneurship Avenue are so valuable. You have a great advantage over other would-be entrepreneurs. Over the course of the last 2 months, you've had the opportunity to learn how startups work, refine your ideas, and meet teams of people who will help you bring your product to market. Today, we are here to celebrate all of that hard work and to toast your future. Good ideas are everywhere. Some are a bit naive, some impossible to implement, and some are brilliant ideas that society is just not quite ready for yet. Which means that not every idea, not even every good idea, can be successful. Some, however, are the right idea at the right time, and may very well go on to change the world. As a serial entrepreneur myself, I can speak to how important that timing is. The problem is that we can never know what will rattle the foundation of an industry, create a new market, or be the platform for new economic growth until we bring ideas out of our heads and put them into play. In that sense, maybe the advice should be, just get started, but be smart about how you go about it. Run with an idea, certainly, but test often, gauge interest, tweak operations, and prepare to pivot when you have to. These are the skills that you are picking up here, and they will help you navigate the exciting, difficult, exasperating, again, speaking from experience, but altogether enjoyable life of an entrepreneur. Now that you are equipped with the know-how, try. You'll be amazed at how liberating it is, how good it feels. Try. Succeed and fail. Keep trying until you find the right fit, the right idea, or the right audience. I'm a firm believer that once you start down the path as an entrepreneur, you will never want to go back. I know I didn't. I am here because I care about entrepreneurship. I'm fascinated by startups. I've been involved in hundreds of projects, and I will be involved in hundreds more, I can guarantee that. But you might wonder why, in my position now, government cares about entrepreneurship. If you don't know, I think you should realize that being an entrepreneur is one of the best things that you can do, not only for yourself, but for society. As entrepreneurs, you will create wealth, not just shift it around. You will create jobs where there were none before. The products and services that you bring to market will better the lives of your customers. It may even save their lives. In any case, the technology and hardware you produce will be a building block for the success of others. Jobs, income, wealth, health, research and development, those are the things that governments care about quite a bit. Let's consider for a moment the wheel as an innovation that dramatically changed society. The wheel is clearly one of the greatest inventions of all time. And while there are debates about its origin, what is not debated is the fact that the wheel was invented late in human history. After agriculture, after governance, and even after complex musical instruments like the harp. It wasn't until the Bronze Age that the wheel was invented. This is mostly because the difficulty of carving and polishing precise parts and smooth surfaces required other technologies, such as metallurgy. So it took generations of people to build the tools and develop the foundation necessary for the invention of something as simple as the wheel. And maybe, just as important, it took someone bold to say, hey, you're using this all the wrong way, before we could truly unlock the potential of the wheel. Let me explain for a moment. In the beginning, the wheel wasn't used as a means of transportation. Many believed it was a Mesopotamian potter who invented the wheel. He realized that it was easier to form pots, spinning them around on a round wheel, rather than working on a stationary block. But he could never have imagined that his bright idea would remain relevant today. It was 300 years before someone would tip that potting wheel on its side and use it as a chariot or a wheelbarrow. But once they did, the rest is history. The wheel is one of those rare gifts of human insight and ingenuity. There was no equal to the wheel, no predecessor. It wasn't a better version of something else. It was truly unique. Like many great inventions, the wheel was geared directly towards solving someone's problem. It was simple, replicable, and had innumerable uses. And as others would devise new uses for the wheel, each iteration would maintain that simple but lasting relevance. Wheelbarrows allowed one person to do the work of four. Chariots and carriages allowed us to travel faster and more comfortably than on horseback. Carts allowed farmers to improve their livelihood by bringing larger quantities to market. The wheel makes us stronger, faster, and more efficient. But in every case, the technology revolves around the user, solving our problems and making us better at what we do. The wheel, of course, would go on to be fundamental to almost every aspect of society and continues to be an essential element in the development of our most advanced technologies, such as self-driving cars, robotics, and planetary exploration. From the person that built the bronze tools to carve the wheel, to the engineer who built wheels capable of withstanding the rigors of space for the Curiosity rover, many people played a role in the development of the wheel and the advances that followed. Entire industries have been created because of it. Millions of jobs rely on it, and billions of people benefit from it. One new idea can have such a profound effect on society. That is the allure of entrepreneurship, both for the entrepreneur and for society at large. And the importance of what you are doing here cannot be understated. We are living in a new age of discovery and innovation, not unlike the time of that clever Mesopotamian potter. Technology defines the tools of the information age and will allow you to shape the world around you in wonderfully new ways. We live at a time when everything around you, from computers to education to the walls holding up the building, will undergo a fundamental transformation in both form and function. That's why we have scaffolding currently. If you sit idly by, you will be rich with new toys and graced with the strength and the intelligence beyond any other generation. But if you get involved, if you accept the challenge before you and take part in this fundamental change, you will, without a doubt, shape the world, alter the future of mankind, and change the course of life on Earth and, quite possibly, beyond. It may sound crazy, but you will agree with me someday when you're celebrating your 200th birthday or attending your great-great-great-great-great-grandchild's wedding, when you communicate seamlessly in any language, or when you can experience the world from any perspective, anywhere and at any time. Then you think back on how much you as a person have changed and how much education, architecture, politics, and the environment, and even knowledge itself have changed. When you get there, there will be no greater reward than to think, I did that. I played a role. I made that possible. Entrepreneurs shape history. I have no doubt that you will change the world. I'm excited for the possibilities that are represented in this room today and the lives that you will lead. And I'm truly looking forward myself to benefiting from your hard work. So, to your success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.